Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, hello Miss Ida. How's life? Hopefully, may Allah always bless us with health and happiness. Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Ghozi Faiz. Today, I want to present my final examination of communication perspective and theories. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, let's start uh, with basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First, the first theory, interpersonal communication theory. I choose symbolic interaction theory. Definition. Describe how humans use language to form meaning, how humans create and present themselves, and how humans create society by cooperating with other through symbols. That relate with Max Weber theory, that social action carried out by individuals are driven by the results of social meaning on the surrounding environment. And then the importance of meaning for human behavior. Humans act towards other humans based on the meanings that other people give them. Meaning is created in human interaction. Meaning is modified through an interpretive process. The importance of self-concept. Individuals develop self-concept through interaction with other people. Self-concept provides an important motive for behavior. Relationship between individuals and society. People and groups are influenced by social and cultural process. Social structure is generated through social interaction. There are three basic symbolic interaction. Firstly, mind, the ability to use symbols that have the same social meaning, where each individual must develop their through interaction with other individuals. Social structure is generated through social interaction. Secondly, personal self, the ability to reflect on each individual self from the judgment of another's point of view or opinion. Symbolic interactionism theory is a branch of sociological theory that deals with the self and the external world. And third, society. Social relations created, built, and constructed by each individual in society and in which each individual is involved in the behavior they choose actively and voluntarily. There are phenomenon examples. People who use the iPhone show a certain social status, especially in Indonesia. They seem high class, yes. And then another example like hijab. Hijab, the to be a symbol, identity of Muslimah. It's like that. And then next, the second theory, communication theory, then I choose intergroup conflict theory. Definition. According to Vietnam, conflict is a struggle between two or more interdependent parties, who have goals or perceive a mismatch in their goals. There are categories of social groups in general: ethnic, religion, gender, nationality, sexual orientation, political sensibility, and various cultural identities. Conflict occurrence. How conflict occurrence? That's because not feelings part of one social category. Social categorization theory attach importance to a distinctive part of the group that other groups do not have in the social identity theory. Incompatibility, personal identity, needs incompatibility, incompatibility or motivation in group identity. In-group stereotypes about out-groups, comparisons, antipathy are prejudice, and group emotions are feelings. And then conflict resolution. Communication accommodation theory from Howard Keel. How a group member adjusts or use language as the main medium in communicating conflict resolution efforts. Theoretical assumptions. There are similarities and difference in speaking and behaving in all conversation, including experience and backgrounds. The way of perceiving the speech and behavior of others determines the way in which the conversation is evaluated. The language used by the speaker provides information about a person's social status and membership in a particular group. Accommodation will vary in degree of suitability to the speaker's social norms will direct the accommodation process. There are some phenomenon example. There were the demonstration against the PPKM or uh, lockdown policy in several areas, one of which was Pamekasan. In Pamekasan, East Java. The community rejected the policy because it was considered economically detrimental. There were clash between security force and demonstrators. The conflict ended with the disbandment by the authorities and the arrest of several provocateurs. Okay, next, the third theory, mass media communication theory. I choose propaganda theory. Definition come from congregatio, the propaganda fide, or congregation for the propagation of faith. According to Laswell, propaganda refers to controlling opinion with important symbols or speaking more concretely and inaccurately through news, rumors, stories, pictures, and other forms of social communication. In a broad perspective, propaganda is considered as technique to influence human action by manipulating representation or presentation. Representation can be in the form of spoken, written, picture, and music. There are seven general propaganda equipment or technique: name calling, glittering, generality, transfer, testimonials, plain folks, card stacking, and bandwagons. Next, the old versus the new of propaganda. The old, used during war, like in World War One and Two, foster hatred against enemies, confers friendship with Confederate, maintain friendship with Confederate and establish cooperation with neutral parties, destroy the spirit of the enemy. For the no propaganda is currently used in advertising, political campaigns, and public relations. Advertising greater sales for advertiser. Political campaign get the most votes in the selection of candidates. Public relations enhance the good name of the company. Phenomenon example, a simple example is what often happens in Indonesia politics about, I'm sorry, Cebong and Kampret or Kadrun. If there are people who are pro with government policies, they will be referred to as Cebong. While if there are those who are against the government, they will be called Kampret or Kadrun. Yes, that is a simple example from propaganda theory, especially name calling. Name, name calling. Okay. Uh, next, yeah. Next, the fourth theory, new media communication theory. I choose participatory media culture theory. Definition, according to Henry Jenkins, describes the way in which new media culture offers the public to jointly take on the roles of both consumer and media producer. In new media culture, a person or group is able to creatively respond to the content of certain media by creating their own type of culture in an effort to decipher and find meaning in existing media products and message. There are some phenomenon example. For example, YouTubers, first such as Deddy Corbuzier, who has a podcast on YouTube, convey various things to the public or audience, ranging from casual conversations about social condition, even to politics, and even ministers and government officials can attend their podcast. Well, uh, there are others who use YouTube to create and criticize the government, such as Canadian Nation 24, giving new knowledge to the audience and the public. There are also those who do daily vlogs, such as Ria Ricis, Atta Halilintar, and Irfan Hakim. Okay, I think that's enough from me. If there are any mistake, sorry if there are any mistake. Afaminkum. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Stay healthy and happy, guys. Keep your spirits and never give up. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See ya.